Hi, today I'm going to show you how to iron a button-down shirt. If you're anything like me, you probably got some in your closet, in the drawer or something that you haven't worn in a while because they are wrinkled. My wife swears by this spray that you can spray on this stuff and hang it and wrinkles magically disappear. Nope, voodoo, witchcraft for sure. You don't want to mess with that. So get yourself an ironing board, and start wearing some of those shirts that you haven't worn in a while. We'll start with the iron itself. Let's talk about this thing and the components of it. Okay, so here we are. This is your basic iron. This particular model is a Proctor Silex. They're pretty inexpensive. First thing you want to know is that obviously they're electric, and there's usually an indicator light that says it's on and gets hot. How hot? Well, that depends on this knob right here. Depending on what you're ironing. If you're ironing some silks or wools, there's a setting for that. Synthetics, I like to keep it on this cotton and linen because that's where you get the steam. I like steam. It makes ironing easier. Speaking of steam, steam comes from water. Most irons have a place for you to add the water. You just pull whatever little lid off and just add your water into that spot there. Just keep an eye on the fill line on the side of it. You don't want to overfill these things. They don't work right then. Stuck that back up. Also, there's usually a knob that calls for steam or doesn't call for steam. So that was off. We turn it back on the steam. When you turn it like you're ironing, that's when the steam happens. The magic happens. And there you go. Also, if you're ironing and you happen to iron like a crease into something, you get like a crease, you can take this button here and you can spray some water on it and then use the iron to take the crease out of whatever you just tried to iron, like I just did with the iron blade cover here. That's about it for the iron. Just be careful, obviously, they're hot. Okay, so let's iron a button-down shirt. First off, the water. Again, just make sure that you don't overfill it. And when you're done, make sure you open up that little nozzle again and dump it all out. You don't want water staying in there. All right, here's my button-down shirt that's been sitting in my closet for a month. So we start at the square end of the ironing board. It's shaped like that for a reason. Stick one end of it over. The sleeve goes right on that corner. There's a little tip on the end of the iron there, then the pointy part, that allows you to go around those buttons like that, which is pretty cool. Now, I'm not pressing really hard on this thing. It's basically just the weight of the iron. Maybe press down a little bit. Then you move along to the back. Again, trying to get it as flat as you can on the board to avoid putting any creases in it. There's always that little creasy part in the back of the shirt, though. You want to probably start with that. So you're just moving along like this, and like I said, if you get a crease in it, you can always squirt it with that water and get that out of it. The back usually takes two moves on it because the ironing board's not as wide as the back of a shirt generally. And the last side over here. Again, you may have to push a little bit harder on the areas where there's double fabric, like where the buttons are and where the buttons go into, and around that pocket area there. There's usually a little extra fabric. You kind of got to push into that. Again, you're just kind of keeping it flat, letting the iron do the work. The steam really helps. And then we're going to go ahead and move along to the other end of the ironing board with this round part over here. That's where the sleeves can kind of fit in there. So you drag the sleeve over the top of that and just start banging away at the sleeves over here. Rotate it around, get the other side of the sleeve. You can also do the collar at this end. Sometimes those collars tend to stick up on the corners a little bit. So you get underneath the collar, you can get those collars down, you get the back part of the collar. Here you want to press down a little bit because that's pretty thick. Let that steam do its thing. And of course, two sleeves on the shirt. Hit the other one up. Now for long sleeve shirts, you really can't do that move. You can do it for the top part of it, but you're going to want to lay it out on the ironing board lengthwise. I do it for the short sleeve shirts too, just because I think they're nice. And if it's a thin material, you probably only have to do one side. You don't have to flip it over to do the other side of the sleeve. The wrinkles will come out on both sides by doing it just once. Raise it up, take a look, see how you did. I like the hangers that have like that cloth on them, then they don't slide off. Find yourself a button, one button on there, and bada bing, there you go. You got your shirt ready for morning, the one you haven't worn in a month.